Hey guys, welcome back to Click It, your best source for all things in the IT industry. Ever feel like you're spending more time dealing with servers than actually building your app? This is why serverless was actually introduced. With everybody talking about serverless framework, it must be a very big deal, right? Well, I'm Angel Acevedo, a full stack developer here on Click It, and in this video, I'll be guiding you through how you can use serverless framework to transform your business to increase reach agility, faster time to market, and so much more things. The serverless framework is an open source tool that promotes the use of serverless architectures in general. This technology took the tech world by storm, making development more efficient and allowing developers to build a stronger application with lesser strain on resources and time. The Serverless Framework is a free open source command line interface tool, and it's right in Node.js. It offers a structured way to build and manage serverless applications across different cloud providers, including AWS Lambda, Azure Functions, Google Cloud Functions, and so many others. The best part is that it's not exclusive attached to a single process, and it can be applied to a range of processes like building web applications, data processing, and IoT backends. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. When serverless computing first came to be, it changed application development entirely. And it meant that you didn't need clunky, expensive, and hard to maintain infrastructure, and it's a sensitive step forward for most companies. One of the key players in this process is the serverless framework, which basically abstracts away all the complexity of working directly with provider APIs. So what's the big fuss? Let's have a look at some of the reasons why serverless framework is popular among developers. Faster to market. Among many benefits, the first one on my list is faster to market. When you use serverless framework, it can free up your developers from dealing with time-consuming and boring tasks like server management and provisioning resources. Instead, they can focus on writing good code and business logic for your application. This means the development and deployment process will be streamlined, making way for faster testing and quicker deployments. Easier to scale. Another more popular peak of serverless framework is that they are breeze to scale. They automatically scale application as the workload increases or decreases. Plus, with built-in cost management, you can scale confidently without breaking the bank. Cost efficiency. Serverless framework generally comes with a pay-per-use model, which means you just have to pay for the computing resources you actually use. While this slashes your excess cost, you won't have to pay maintenance as your provider will be handling it. Improved functionality. When you're developing an application and launching it, you have to make sure that you have redundancy to minimize failures. Serverless framework gives you the necessary redundancy, along with the support for multi-region deployments, so you'll be able to serve your customers globally and with very low latency and minimum downtime. Let me know your thoughts on these benefits or share your experience leaving a comment below. Serverless framework, how it works. A great way to understand how serverless framework works is to look at a popular implementation. AWS is one of the most common platforms in which this framework is implemented. The architecture of serverless application using the serverless framework on AWS typically involves 6 key components. Let's have a look at what they are. AWS Lambda is responsible for event-driven executions and automatically scaling. Amazon API Gateway makes API management much easier when creating RESTful APIs. Amazon DynamoDB gives a fast NoSQL database solution that automatically scales and is very good for microservices. Similar to DynamoDB, Amazon S3 offers scalable solutions but for durable object storage with event triggers for Lambda. And lastly, Amazon RDS supports the overall setup and scaling of managed relational databases to wrap it up. Concepts. Now, let's explore the main concepts of the serverless framework and how it integrates all these components. Functions. These are the core of any serverless application, serving as individual building blocks for a specific task like processing HTTP requests or responding to cloud service events. In AWS implementations, those functions are typically executed using AWS Lambda. Events. Next, we have events. even triggers your functions to execute. They are the actions your application responds to, such as HTTP requests via an API gateway, DynamoDB table updates, or scheduled time-based events like CloudWatch alarms. Resources. Moving on to resources, every serverless application relies on certain cloud infrastructure components, which we refer to as resources. These might include S3 buckets, DynamoDB tables, API gateway endpoints, IAM roles, and so much more. The serverless framework can use CloudFormation to automatically provision and manage these resources on AWS, ensuring consistent and reliable infrastructure. Services. Now, let's discuss services. In the context of the serverless framework, a service is a way to organize your serverless application. It's essentially a project that contains both the configuration and the code for your serverless application. By organizing your application as a service, you can manage and you can deploy your service functions, events, and other related settings together. This modular setup makes it easier to maintain, scale, and deploy different components on your applications separately. Plugins. The final concept is plugins. The serverless framework offers plugins that extend beyond basic functionalities. These plugins enable custom behaviors or integration with other tools. You can select from a variety of plugins for tasks such as deployment optimization, managing environment variables, or integrating with CI/CD pipelines. You can even develop your own plugins if you need a specific functionality, not provided by the existing options. Alright, now let's set up a serverless framework service in AWS. Step 1. Install and configure. First thing first, you need to install and configure your serverless framework. I'm going to assume you already have Node.js and npm installed on your computer. If that's ready, open up your terminal and run the npm install serverless-g command. This command will basically install the serverless framework globally on your machine. Next, you'll need to configure your AWS credentials to allow the serverless framework to deploy resources on your behalf. Type AWS configure into your terminal and hit enter. You'll be prompted to enter your AWS access key, secret access key, region, and output format. Make sure to enter these details as they allow the serverless framework to interact with AWS services under your account. Step 2. Create a serverless project. Now that you've got serverless installed and configured, it's time to create your first serverless service. Go back to your terminal and simply type serverless. Just like that, and just press enter. You'll see a list of templates on your screen. These templates are pre-configured setups for different use cases and programming languages. Choose a template that aligns your project needs and preferred programming language. After selecting a template, you'll see a prompt that says name your service. Here, simply type the name you want to give to your service and then hit enter. Step 3. Sign in. Next up, let's sign into your serverless framework account. You'll do this by simply running the serverless login command in your terminal. This will automatically open up the serverless framework dashboard right on your browser. Go ahead and enter your credentials there, and you'll be logged in no time. Step 4. Deploy a service. Once you're logged in, the next step is to deploy your service. First, you'll need to navigate to your service directory where your serverless EML file is located. Just switch to that directory using the cd command, followed by your service name. Now, to deploy your service, run the serverless deploy command. And just like that, you'll have successfully deployed your service. It's as simple as that. And that's it for the fundamentals. Now you know how to set up your own serverless framework service with some of the basic functions. Best use cases. Next, we're going to take a look at in which cases the serverless framework works better. Event-driven architectures. One of the prime use cases for the serverless framework is event-driven architectures. This framework is great responding to events such as changes in data, user requests, or signals from IoT devices. For example, you can set up automatic workflows to process files when they're loaded to Amazon S3. This might include tasks like resizing images, transcoding videos, or validating data formats. It also enables the processing of real-time data streams from Amazon Kinesis or DynamoDB streams, automation and scheduled tasks. With the serverless framework, you can say goodbye to the hassle of maintaining dedicated servers for your automated tasks and scheduled jobs. Take Amazon Event Bridge, for instance. When you pair Event Bridge with AWS Lambda, you can trigger functions at specific intervals for tasks like backups, system health checks, or periodic data aggregation. Plus, Serverless Frameworks empowers you to automate infrastructure management, tasks like resourcing provisioning, monitoring changes, and updating configurations with ease. Chatbots and voice assistants. The Serverless Framework have proven to be able to handle the creation and management of AI chatbots and voice assistants. In fact, it can do this much more efficient with the use of Amazon Lex and Alexa. Specifically, Amazon Lex natural language understanding and processing are really good. This makes them a great fit for creating AI chatbots that can understand and respond to inputs. This is supported by AWS Lambda, which will handle the backend logic. Data transformation, ETLs. You can use AWS with your serverless framework to extract, transform, and load data as you extract it from several sources. You can level up this functionality by combining AWS Lambda with AWS Kinesis or AWS Glue to create real-time data processing pipelines for your streaming analytics. Let me know what you think about these serverless framework use cases in the comments below, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to hear from you. In this video, we learned how serverless framework can help you completely revamp your business by adding agility, scalability, and cost efficiency. We also went through the fundamentals actions you will carry out when setting up your serverless framework application, as well as its core components and the best use cases. Thank you guys for reaching at the end of this video. If you enjoyed it or you found this video helpful, please give us a like, share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to see more videos like this and stay up to date with important IT innovations. Catch you on the next one.